I wish I had something good to say. I feel as bad as I did when I came last time.
Really?
My guts are hurting bad.
Are you taking
I haven't taken any, I had no money, I bought no pain medication of any kind.
But what about the Pazopanib, the Votrient?
I'm taking Votrient, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, I'm taking that every day. So you see the burns on my hands? Look at this. I got, my whole crotch is on fire, my feet are the same way. I'm down to like 148 now as far as weight goes. I eat, but my stomach hurts so bad I can only eat a little at a time. I can't eat a plate of food. I can eat like, just a little bit here and there through the day, otherwise it just hurts too much. I go to turn left or right, my sides hurt bad. I mean, my whole guts and everything just hurt. My bones and all that hurt too from the chemo, I'm sure. I'm doing really, it's tough. It's very tough. I have a lot of people helping me, thank God. I can barely move my hands. These are like callous in my joints. Look at this.
Well, let me tell you.
And I've had vomiting a couple times, a little blood at the back end, but it's like I ate 3 hours after the Votrient, and it was horrible.
Well, why don't we do this then? I mean, I don't think you're tolerating the medicine very well.
Let me ask you, is it doing what it's supposed to be doing in the blood? I mean, with all these blood tests.
Well, let's say we do a CAT scan and it shows that the tumor is smaller. Are we going to continue the Votrient, feeling the way you feel?
I don't know. I mean, what do you think is better that I do?
I think that if you're not tolerating it, you're not tolerating it. It doesn't matter if it's working or not.
Okay.
So,
but is there something that I might tolerate that will do it? Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
I think that if you're not tolerating Votrient, I think we should switch treatment. The only problem with this other treatment I would recommend is that it's IV. It would have to be done at the hospital, Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
Should be covered by Medicaid. It's an FDA-approved drug.
Okay.
In fact, it was recently approved. It's a phenomenal drug. We did, work here with clinical trials on this medicine. It works very well.
Okay.
It's only approved in people who have failed frontline therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And by failing, it can be either it's not working or you're not tolerating it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if it's working good and strong, I mean, I'll deal with side effects.
Okay.
But that's the thing. I mean, if it's really kicking cancer's butt, and I'm flat with you. I'm honest with you. I'm also doing the natural route as well. This is high CBD oil, so it helps, and I'm also doing some other natural things as well, and so on. So, I'm trying to do my side as well, trying to, eat as good as I can, considering.
Sure.
If I have to deal with these side effects and know that this particular chemo drug is working, excessively well, then fine. But I'd rather not, drag this out with a lesser strength drug that's going to work slower, and just for the side effects side.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not having fun, but on the other hand, if it's getting rid of it, I'll deal with it.
Well, the only way to know for sure if it's working is to do a CAT scan.
Well, we did one 5 weeks ago.
December 14th, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually it wasn't bad.
I don't know why I have so much pain down there in my gut, but it hurts so bad I can hardly eat. I only eat a little at a time, put it that way. Otherwise it just hurts too much.
Well, maybe we should have you seen by a gastroenterologist. Maybe there's a problem with the way fluid is going through your belly.
Since all this surgery, I mean, I've never had these problems before, but like flatulence and the diarrhea for 4 or 5 hours in the morning after I do the Votrient.
Well, why don't we have you seen by a gastroenterologist? There's a very good one in Key Largo, Rakoff.
Rakoff?
Dr. Rakoff, Neil Rakoff.
Okay,
So
I
I would send you to see Dr. Rakoff.
Okay, Dr. Rakoff?
Yeah. So, all right. Now, the other thing we got to keep an eye on is your blood counts.
How are we doing with that? I'm doing blood tests every week. I mean, what's all the blood look like?
It's all been looking very good, remarkably good.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, I have one from today that they did, and it's very, very good. So that's not an issue.
So the drug is working.
Well, it's not affecting your blood counts. It looks like it's working. Time will tell.
Okay.
But on the CAT scan that we didn't see any evidence of cancer. So that's good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
Very good.
And now the blood counts, meaning is that affected by the cancer or the chemo or both?
Both.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just looking better.
Right.
Better than it was before. So obviously there's improvement and it's working. So.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in the way of that, believe me. So I'll deal with the side effects, and if it gets any worse, I'll let you know, and then we'll attack in another direction. But
Sure.
for now, I'll just deal with it.
Yeah, and what I'm gonna do is on today's dictation, I'm gonna send a copy to Dr. Rakoff so that he knows what's going on. Okay?
Please.
All right. But I mean, Chris, from the standpoint of your cancer and everything looks good.
Sweet. Okay.
You're having some
How long do you think I'm going to be on this therapy? Do you think?
long time.
Long time,
I
like
mean,
a year,
years.
maybe longer. Years, really?
Yeah. You actually gained a pound over the last month.
Well, actually, that's with all my jacket and everything on. I'm probably about the same weight, maybe a pound less. You know, I've been kind of holding my weight though. Thank God. It's like I got to find out what's wrong with my stomach because I have appetite. You know, I mean, which is you know, everybody says that's amazing and cool and it's whatever. You know, I want to eat, but food doesn't do too well down there. You know, so if I could get that straightened out, I probably could get my weight back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I would definitely talk to Dr. Rakoff. There may be things he could do. You know, I'm sure he'll do endoscopy and look and see and all those kinds of things. Okay.
Okay. All right, and let me just make sure I got all my notes here. Oh yes, this is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the reports, and I do know that renal carcinoma, one of the main causes of it is tobacco abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that and I understand that. But there is some extenuating circumstances that have happened in my life, my wife's life, and our animal's life. You said, I believe it was you, or it was I think it was the other doctor that said that I had this cancer for 6 to 7 years. I've had it for a long time. It wasn't you, then it was the other doctor. I have their names here, I wrote it down. But I've had this for a while. And my wife, you remember Julie Tibbetts, Lisette's cousin from Cayman. She passed, about a year and a half ago from breast cancer. Now, that when the doctor told me I had my cancer for 6 to 7 years, it finally put all the parts in place. When we lived in Lehigh Acres, we had a nice property out there, and we rescued, abused, and abandoned cats and dogs, Julie and I. It was about 7 years ago. And about our last year there, probably actually 7 months there, when the housing bubble burst and all that, people were dumping their animals in our yard, and we had an excessive number of animals because we were the humaniacs down the street. And it was one of the hardest hit places for the housing bubble.
Yes.
But anyway, all of a sudden, we had animals dying left and right over there. I would take them to the vet, and they had renal failure. The males and the females would have breast cancers and things like that. And then finally, when I pushed on the renal failure thing, it was actually renal carcinoma. I mean, I brought kitties that we brought down from there to here that passed away over time as well. The local vets, I have all the documentation on it. Everything that was there got sick. My wife got cancer, and now it's going back to 6 to 7 years back. I went through a list from the American Cancer Association of different toxins that have come naturally as well as in the job place. And there's many things that I believe is on that property that could have potentially caused these cancers. And I'm not trying to be an alarmist or anything like that, but I've spoken to an attorney out there, and I'm in the I already launched the Facebook page, but it's about a potential cancer cluster. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm just explaining to the community, because there's 20,000 families out there sitting on a potential 5 to 7 year cancer time bomb, and that really burns me up bad. You know, it upsets me, you know, that nobody's doing anything or saying anything about it, or put the parts of the puzzle together. So what I'm saying is to the people, listen, this is what's happened to me. This is not a call of fear, this is a safety judgment. I think you all should be testing your land. Do core samples, so on and so forth. If in fact this property is infected and it's been sold to you wrong and so on, then we have an attorney in place to take care of things to reciprocate everybody properly. But everybody that's ever lived there prior to the housing bubble and since the housing bubble needs to know about this. Because mine, I walked around for almost 7 years with cancer in me and didn't even know it, and it came from there. How many other places are happening like that? So what I need to ask you is, in the doctor's report, is there any way possible that you can broaden in your diagnosis the cause? Potentially environmental or
Chris,
tobacco Well, I'm asking. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask.
Yeah.
It can be tobacco abuse, but you know I have stuff from the American Cancer Association that shows other things that cause both renal carcinoma and breast cancer, which are chemicals that are being going to be found in this ground.
I understand, but the biology of your tumor, I don't think that this has been around for 6 or 7 years.
That's what the other doctor said.
Well, I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
This is an aggressive cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a way of going about this. I'm going to
Please help me with this because yeah.
I'm going to refer you to an article that came out in the New York Times
Okay.
last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was about an attorney who took on DuPont.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend.
In other words, you're talking about what the battle is and what will happen. I already know that. I'm speaking with Cersei and at Montgomery and Cersei in Palm Beach. We're doing the acreage cancer cluster against Pratt and Whitney.
Yeah. My opinion doesn't mean a damn thing.
Right. Oh, it does. It does.
No, it doesn't. No, believe me, it doesn't. They need measurements. They need titers. They need MRI, mass spec identification of carcinogens.
Can any of that be done anymore?
Well, I don't know. You need to talk to your attorneys. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I really don't think this has been around for 6 or 7 years. This is an aggressive cancer.
Or let me ask you, if it has, how long do you think I might have had it then? Because
It's pure speculation.
Right. Okay. And the other side of the coin also is, just because I've had it, it recently popped up in the past year, 2, 3, whatever, being an aggressive cancer. Could I have possibly gotten it from there?
Possible.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Okay,
So what all I can ask you is about the possibilities, and then I can bring the parts of the puzzle together.
Well, what I can put in a dictation is that that you used to live in an area that allegedly has some sort of.
Well, actually, there is actually documentation that when Lehigh Acres, before Lehigh Acres became Lehigh Acres, it was a ranch, and the gentleman there sold it to a developer who, when they were building Fort Myers and Naples, allowed the construction companies to dump in the swamps there until about the mid-'60s, when they made laws to stop the dumping. So all they did was take horrible, terrible construction fill and backfill over those swamps and build houses on it.
Okay.
When I was digging in that
All right,
property, I just want to let you know that it's not just a whim. There's research involved.
I understand, but I don't have any documentation. I can put it in the report that allegedly you live in an area where there's some contamination.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And again, direct it right back to the renal carcinoma and potential breast cancer with Jewel and I, because I have the list of chemicals and they're there.
I know, but this has been litigated many times and it's come up empty so many times that.
Well, if it's in the ground, and according to the American Cancer
Here's
Association.
a successful litigation.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out. I will check it out.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I will check it out.
All right.
So if you could change that for me, I'd so greatly appreciate it for the potential side. Because.
Well, okay, but I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be specific at all because.
Well, no.
Because I don't know.
General, yeah. Well, tell them you don't know. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, I have to be accurate in what I put there. I can't put down speculation as fact.
If we create a class action, there will be the research will be able to allow all this to happen. Because the idea behind this is if people have been given this cancer, arbitrarily just for the sales of real estate, well, there's obviously a responsible party.
Yeah.
And the attorney said, you show me the ground samplings, and you show me the sick people, and I'll take it from there.
That's fine.
That's what I'm doing right now. And I've already got him the list of the chemicals that cause these cancers. So.
What do you want me to do with this?
I'm sure I just need some painkiller. I'm hurting bad.
Right.
And if you can, I don't know about the 12-hour, or if you want to just do regular or whatever.
You want to do? Well, what about that liquid morphine that you use?
I never tried it. I didn't have any money.
That's pretty cheap though.
I'm broke. If it wasn't for food pantries and things like that, I would not be eating. And people bringing me food.
But you have insurance now, right? You got Medicaid.
I now have Medicaid. I just brought those 2 prescriptions yesterday to the. I don't even have the card yet. They called me on the phone and gave me the number, and I went right down to the pharmacy. That's how much pain I'm.
Well, let's try the morphine liquid through the Medicaid. Because that is your best bet of getting it approved. Because that's cheap.
Well, again, if Medicaid's paying for it, I'm not worried about cheap anymore. I'm worried about what's going to work.
Yeah. No, it works great.
Okay.
It works great.
We'll try it.
Yeah.
Try it. Oh.
Mine's the latest print.
Indigestion all the time. I'm so blessed my community has come out and helped me. They're helping with meals and doing all kinds of stuff. I can hardly hold a pot or a pen even is hard to hold. And they're just doing so much to help me. They're all saying, you should be, most people like you be laying down horizontal mourning and groaning. And I said, I'm a fighting motherfucker, man. I'm sorry, but I still got a heartbeat going. I'm not laying down.
Sure. And the last CAT scan didn't show any evidence of tumor, so that's
God bless.
very good.
God bless. Okay, well, I'll deal with this and we'll go month to month and I won't complain as much, okay? Unless it gets really worse. I don't know how much worse it can get, but we'll see where the road takes me. Yeah, it really upsets me that, if, it's sort of a call to action for the community to test the ground, to make sure that they are okay, and if they're not, then, there's resources and direction to take.
You should read that article, it's very good.
I will definitely.
It was a very successfully done case against DuPont.
Excellent.
Against,
Thank you.
a hell of a lot of resistance.
Yeah, the corporations are hard to deal with. Yeah.
It's an army of lawyers. They can afford to litigate this thing for years.
And that's what'll happen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, at least people will start becoming aware. From my understanding, there are thousands of cancer cluster places, whether it be from high tension wires or underground dumpings and stuff throughout our country, that just aren't being recognized. I spoke with a guy from Tennessee, a gentleman in a wheelchair down in social services in Key Largo. He just rolled over to me and started talking to me. He comes from a town where everybody's dying of cancer and nobody will even listen. Dr. Munia's appointment here in Miami on 011516.